Welcome to Over 50 TV. My name is Lou Reyes, and it is Tuesday, the 15th of August, and it is finally stopped raining here in beautiful Cleveland, Ohio. And I got to tell you, it's been raining kind of like nonstop on and off. I say on and off, but it's like mostly on, very rarely off. So it's a great day for me to be here at 6 o'clock on a Tuesday to be talking to you about something that's extremely important. At least I think it's important to a lot of the viewers out there of Over 50 TV, because I keep getting this question, the same question, which is, Lou, I'm retired. How do I go ahead? How do I start a business? Or I'm retiring and I want to know how I can start a side hustle. So I get this all the time. I get this question, and it's a great question, and I'm just happy to answer it today. So the title of this video is The Best Side Hustle for Retirees. And before I get into it, though, I do want to mention, and you're probably used to it because I always say I want to mention, I do want to mention that my brand new website is up. It's about a month old. It's called over50tv.com. And on this website, what I do there is I provide you with more news, more information, and I talk about more opportunities for personal growth, for financial stability, and for career advancement. I give you a lot more information on over50tv.com. There's no way possible that I could give you the information. I could provide the information to help, the opportunities, I just say the empowerment that we can give you on the website. So just check it out, over50tv.com. So let's get to our video. Let me talk about the best side hustle for retirees. And I want to show you what really prompted this particular video. It's a quote that I received from, or a quote, it's a comment that I received from one of our viewers. And here it is. It's from a guy named, I'm assuming it's a guy, it could be a woman, but it does say Johnny Jr. And it says here, I'm getting ready to retire from power company, have 30 plus years as a lineman. What do you recommend? And Johnny was commenting on this video, 7 side hustles for retirees that I did. And Johnny was just asking this question. Hey, I'm getting ready to retire from a power company. I've been here for 30 years. And, tell me what kind of a side hustle I could do. Well, my first thing is, and this is part of this whole formula that I'm going to give you. There's really four parts of this formula. The first thing I'm going to say, Johnny, is, and I'm going to go to my formula here, is start early. Right now, you're ready to retire. You're saying you're 30 years on the job, man, and now you're ready to retire. Well, my suggestion is to start before you retire. Start early, a year or two if possible. Now, if you can't do it, you can't do it. If you're already going to retire, that's it. But start early. That way you can take your time. You're in no rush. You're trying one thing that works and one thing that maybe you find a couple things that don't work. But over time, what you're doing is you're working this. You're starting early while there's no pressure, so that when you do retire, and possibly this guy's been on the job for 30 years, so I'm assuming he's got a nice retirement. Plus, you get Social Security more often than not. And if you're getting Social Security, you're getting $1,900 minimum. That's the average, right around $1,800. Of course, we do know there's recently Social Security. It looks like they're going to give at least a 3% increase. We won't know that until, I think, November, I believe. But yeah, you get more ramen noodles because you get another $50 a month in your check. But the point is this: you're going to have some money from Social Security, you're going to have some money from retirement. So what you will have is the ability to take your time, but starting early. Always start early. That's my number one recommendation. If you're out there and you're really thinking about starting a side hustle, man, do it as soon as possible, because you're going to change. You're going to make some adjustments. You're going to close one thing down, start another. But here's the next thing. Find something you love, something that you love to do. If you're going to start a side hustle, only do it, my opinion is to start by finding something that you love. And I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's digging holes in the ground. I mean, that's obvious an exaggeration, but find something that you love. And something that I'm going to do here in this video is, besides giving you the formula, I'm going to give you some examples of some folks who are making bank by doing something they love. And you probably would have, if you'd heard about it, if they'd have told you what they were going to do, you'd have think, yeah, right. You're going to do what? You're going to do what? Are you crazy? But these people are making bank, but what they're doing is they're doing something that they love. And that is so important. Once you do something you love, once you find that thing, you know that thing, then what you do is you monetize it. You figure out, how can I make money doing it? How can I make money doing it? If you love making Kool-Aid, and you were a kid, you made Kool-Aid, right? You had a Kool-Aid stand. You had a Kool-Aid stand. And what you did is you put a box out in front of the house or something, or maybe your neighbor's home. And then what you did is you sold Kool-Aid. Well, if that's what you did, you made some money, maybe a little bit, but you made some money. Smart folks, there's a few people out there. Gary Vaynerchuk likes to brag about this, but he did this. Had a lemonade stand, then he opened up another lemonade stand as a kid. He had friends of his with each one of them ran his lemonade stands. So he had a bunch of lemonade stands and made a lot of money when he was younger. But find something you love to do, then figure out how you can monetize it. And we're going to give you some examples here, so sit tight on that, okay? Next thing, once you start early, once you find something you love, then you determine how you're going to monetize it. Then you immediately set out to build a community. Now, community could be also known as a customer base, right? But when I say build a community, I'm not just talking about a regular customer base, that kind of customer base, the person that may go into a Target and, I go into Target today, but I'm also going to go tomorrow. I'm going to go to Kmart because the prices are better there, or maybe there's a product there they have. You want a community, people that are loyal. They're going to follow you. They're going to believe in you. They're going to want to listen to you. They're going to want to know what you know. Build a community. That's the key. That's the key with everything. I guess I give my own example here. I'm doing something that I love to do. I figured out a way to monetize it, a number of ways to monetize it. We're building a community here, people, because you know what? I know that, and I want people to know that I care about them, that I want to do a good job for them, that I want to show them how they can create opportunities for themselves, and not just through side hustles. There's other ways to do it. We'll have other videos on that. But create a community of people that are loyal to you, that want to be with you, that want to, again, they want to know what you know. These are so important. These rules: start early, find something you love, determine how to monetize, and build a community. Now, let me do this. Let me give you a couple examples of folks who did exactly what I'm talking about. And you may think, when you see this, you may think, well, who would have thought about it? Who would have thought this? Who would have thought somebody would make thousands of dollars a month? One guy's making well over 5 figures a month. And let's show you right now, rather than just drag this on. We don't want to do that, right? Ohio Woodburner Limited. Joe, I know this guy, contacted me, about a year ago, 2 years ago, wanted to get together. We got together. Actually, I did an interview with Joe. Joe has Ohio Woodburner. If you look at the top here, I'm going to put this cursor there. Hopefully you can see that. 38,000, over almost 39,000 subscribers. What a community that Joe has built. And what Joe does, he started out chopping wood. And I believe he was selling wood in his front yard, just selling firewood. Well, then Joe gets the idea of, me, if I'm making some money, I can make more money. And by the way, Joe was working in loss prevention for a good-sized grocery chain, a mid-sized grocery chain here in our area, our part of Ohio, but Ohio, USA. But Joe was working in loss prevention. Stuff happened. Joe decides he's going to leave, but he had his little firewood thing going, his chopping wood. Now he built his business up. And then the next thing he knows, Joe decides he's going to start a YouTube channel. That's the community part. Let me go back to that. Started early. He was working for somebody else. He found something he liked doing, his chopping wood. That's, God bless him. That's not something that I would have ever thought would do well. Matter of fact, I told him that, and when I was embarrassed, I shouldn't have told him that, because it's something he loves. Then he figured out how to monetize it. Then he built a community using YouTube to build a community. Joe actually did an event at a wood yard. He's running a larger wood yard now. He was working out of his home in the backyard. had all of his equipment back there and all these piles of wood. I can't believe his wife. Don't think his wife was happy with it, but she was probably understanding. She's got a wood yard now, and what he did is he had an event there. He had an event. He had hundreds of people came into his event. Companies sent their representatives there with their equipment. He's built this business that's doing thousands of dollars a month in sales. And he gets free equipment from companies. One of them paid for him to go, I think it was to Norway, all expenses paid, just to go there and talk to their customers, because it's where one of the one of the machine manufacturers was located at. They sent him there. They paid for him to go there. So Joe took something he loved, just something that he loved. He figured out a way to monetize. He built a community. Here's another example here. Let me see if I can pull this one up here. That was Ohio Woodburner. This is Ohio Fish Rescue. Ohio Fish Rescue. Now, I don't know these folks. Actually, they're not far from where I live. They're in my side of town, my part of town. But I do know of someone who's very good friends with the son. It's a husband. It's a father son who run this business. And they built a successful business by rescuing fish. And we're talking about fish in a fish tank. And from what I understand, what happened, they love fish. They love fish tanks. Got a call one day. Somebody said, hey, what we have is we're tired of our fish. We can't take care of them. Do you want them? So sure enough, these two went over there. They took the fish. Next thing they know, other folks are calling them. More and more people are calling them. Their reputation gets out there that they care about, love fish. They take care of them. They want them. And you know what they're doing? They're selling fish. They're breeding fish. They took a pool, and I'm talking about an in-ground pool, and turned it into a huge pond. And then they dug another pond. They've got fish all over the place. Their basement's lined with tanks. And they're making five figures a month from what I was told last. But here they are, taking some hobby, whatever, thought, fish tanks. I can make 5 figures a month. 5 figures a month. And they're so popular, these guys. Let me pull this back up here if I can get it. They have, what is that? 169,000 subscribers. That's their community. It's just amazing. It's an amazing community that they have there. And I got to tell you, it just surprised the heck out of me when I heard about this. And I heard about it from a woman who was a friend of mine. She was actually the girlfriend to the son, and she was telling me about the business. And she's like, Lou, how can I start a business where I can make this much money? She was telling me how much money he was making a month, and I was shocked. She said, how can I start a business like this? And I said, this is the formula. This is what you got to do. You got to go back to it. You got to start early. You got to find something you love. You got to determine how you're going to monetize it. And you got to build that community. Build it. Build those loyal people that will follow you anywhere. And they'll be there with you. They'll be there for you. And you know what you do? You offer them good product. You offer them good content. You do stuff for them, and they're going to be there for you. So this is the formula. This is how you build. This is how you build. I'm going to put it back up. This is actually how you go ahead and you build your business. And that's, my friends, is what I recommend. You build it, and you build it, and you build it, and you build it, and they will come. And it's not hard to do. It's matter of fact, I've had over a dozen businesses, ran a chain of business-to-business magazines. I think most of you know that by now. Owned a weekly newspaper, launched a weekly newspaper, had a radio show, a couple of national trade show companies. It's just, what you do is you got to start with that dream, with something that you love, and you build it, and you build it over time, and it just grows. And one of the things that I'm going to say to you before I forget is, what I always did is I always started with the idea. Then I always made sure to form that LLC, that limited liability company, because I wanted to make sure I protected my assets. I want to make sure I separated my personal from my business assets, which is so important to do. There's a company that I'm actually started working with. They're called Taylor Brands. And what they do is they make forming an LLC affordable, and they make it easy. And I don't want to make this a commercial on Taylor Brands, but I really think that starting or having an LLC when you're going to launch a business, you before you open those doors, start your LLC or get it form it. You can go to Taylor Brands. There's a link to them on the website. And again, it's just something that you got to do. You should do, but it's not hard to do. But if these folks who are great people, and if they can go ahead and they follow this formula, and they can go ahead and they can do fish rescue, and they can do wood, they can actually chop wood and make a good amount of money. Well, you know what? You can do it too. You can do it. If you have a comment, you want to send me a comment, say, Lou, I got this idea. What do you think? I'm happy to look at it. And I'm talking about a sentence or two. Don't give me a whole 10 paragraphs, which sometimes I do get. I'm just asking you not to do it because it's just so hard to get back to everybody. But I'm willing to go ahead and look at your idea if you have to say, hey, Lou, what do you think? But start with what you love. Don't start with, well, I just want to make money, because that's not going to be the way to do it. I don't want, if you just say, I'm doing something just to make money, it's not going to work out. I had a former partner, that's how he always thought. He always thought, I got to make money. How am I going to make money? And the business that he actually bought from me, it just basically over time, it fizzled, and it's a shame. The point is, if you do it only for money, you're not going to be successful. Do it because you like to do it. So now I want to do one more thing here. I want to drip what I call dripping some love on one of our viewers who provided a comment that's just so appropriate for this video. Let me go ahead and just read you the comment, but let me put up this video first. And that, my friends, dripping love on David Fredericks. David Fredericks has this comment that he made, and actually he's told me this before. I don't know where he got it or if this was something that he came up with, but it says here, if you don't build your own dream, someone will hire you. Someone will hire you. Someone will hire you to help build theirs. Wow, how appropriate. And you may have heard that comment somewhere. You may have just heard it for the first time here, but you know what? How true is it? So if you're watching this video, chances are you're thinking about retirement or you're retired. Chances are you're looking at starting a side hustle, at least in your mind. At least it's in your mind. Maybe you already have a side hustle. But that's the point. The point is you're building your dream so that you don't have to build somebody else's. And I can just say, hallelujah. I'm proud of you. I'm so glad you're doing it. I'm glad you're on watching this video. But build that dream, my friend. Build it and build that side hustle. And that side hustle, you never know if it could happen, like these other gentlemen I mentioned. And there's a lot of other folks that I met, over hundreds over the years, especially when you're running a business-to-business magazine, a chain of them, you get to know lots of folks. Men and women who built successful businesses started with a side hustle, and you know what? They never look back. So that's all I've got for you today. If you do have any questions, and I am going to tell you right now, if you got any questions at all, please feel free. Just send me a question. But I am going to try one more thing too. I will let you know I'm going to try to have another live stream this coming Thursday. I've got another topic I'm going to be talking about, actually, Social Security. And we mentioned it briefly, but I'm going to be talking about that too on Thursday. So that's all I have for you. Check out over50tv.com, my new website. And as I always say, have a great day, everybody.